Welcome back here to iBuy. My name is Ryan. We're here in Papua New Guinea on a really steep runway, 11%. It was, it was an exciting landing here as always. And the winds have picked up to like 10 knots now, so that'll be for a nice headwind takeoff. But anyways, I'm going to take you back to Goroka, just a 13-minute flight on the low route. I have not taken you guys on this route from this location yet, so let's get started. Do a low start. Once I'm over 14%, I'll flip my fuel and then introduce my fuel. I have this off just so I'm not transferring fuel down to my lower wing.
TAWS system test, okay.
All right, let's get to the top of the runway quickly, just so I'm not just transferring time. I mean, it transfers pretty quick, so get our alternator on. All right, here we go. So this is 11% slope. I think, I want to say 480 meters long. Moresby 6538, November Tango Zulu taxi.
November Tango Zulu, Moresby, go ahead.
November Tango Zulu taxi, iBuy, Goroka, 1 POB.
November Tango Zulu.
All stations, iBuy, Kodiak November Tango Zulu, departing iBuy for Goroka. We'll be below 7,000. Probably won't even make it up to 7,000. We're 6,400 right now. So basically when I take off here, I'm going to be just kind of diving down towards the valley. There's just an absolutely incredible valley all the way back, the low route with waterfalls. So stay tuned because I got my 360 cameras on and, well, it is dry season, so there might not be that much water pouring out of them today. All right, fuel caps, I've already checked those earlier. Our selectors are both on. Our controls, obviously correct because I just flew. All right, let's get my other radar just on standby so the gimbals are warming. This is a really bouncy runway on the way down. I'm completely empty today except for just a couple empty fuel drums. We're 5,100 pounds, so we'll rotate at 53 knots. And the winds are just picking up too much, so there's no chance that I'll be coming back here today. Flaps are set at 20. Let's get our trim set up. On this one, really I'm committed by that first cone right out here that you guys see. Because it is a steep hill, I mean, I was sliding going up it, and so stopping is going to be a lot more difficult. It's not wet out, but it's a damp. So anyways, we're fully committed once we get going. After takeoff, pitch for 85 knots, consider EPL. Consider feather, right hand turn to lower terrain, 80 full flaps, cut off, pull off, shut off, emergencies, masters, and crack my door. Our ignition inlet lights are all finished. We are 20 degrees at 6,400 feet. So we will do 1,300 for 1,350. Condition, flaps 20, fuel and harnesses, 1,300. Rotate 53. So I'm just going to lock my elbow in just so the nose is not just, it will be bouncing, but I'm not going to try to fight it. I'm just going to let it sit there and just skim. Kind of like a soft field takeoff. If it was flat, still kind of the same method here. Make sure my brake is off. We're going to go. It's already a little slippery. All right, there's 47, there's 52. We'll just nose on over. And like I said, we're heading down.
Don't sink.
Yes, I'm going to sink. We're heading down this valley right here.
Don't sink.
My flaps up first.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
So that I don't overspeed my flaps. I don't know how many times she's going to say that. Anyways, let's head on down to around 5,000 feet for this low flight back. I got my flaps up. We can go ahead and bring my prop on back to 2,000 RPM. We're heading up this valley right here. Moresby 6538, November Tango Zulu departure.
November Tango Zulu, Moresby, go ahead.
November Tango Zulu departed I-by time 5-1. We'll be tracking up to 15 miles right of track. Track 060 below 7,000. Estimating Goroka. Time correction 05. Wow, look at
November
this.
Tango Zulu, 15 miles Goroka, contact Goroka Tower 118, decimal seconds.
Contact Goroka Tower 15 miles, November Tango Zulu. Now this right here, this valley flight is probably one of my absolute favorites here in Papua New Guinea, just because the sheer amount of waterfalls. So the guys that live out here were telling me about a few years ago, they had this bulldozer, and they were doing the road, redoing the road over here somewhere. And it was during, I think, rainy season. Anyways, got stuck. They left it overnight. Then a landslide happened. The bulldozer like went down. I don't know exactly where it was. I don't think it was right here. I think it was on the other hill over there. But it went down quite a ways, and they ended up having to dig it out and remaking a road for it to get back up. Pretty crazy. Wow, that is awesome. It's too bad that the sun is directly in front of us, just because it's making it super hazy, and also there's quite a bit of smoke out during dry season and all. But still, regardless, it's beautiful to look at. Right there, that is an awesome waterfall. Make sure that the camera over there can get it. Yeah, that is incredible. Alright, that's number one. Let's see how many we can actually find today. It's crazy because if you look along these sides of these mountains, you'll see gardens, like all right there, right there. So people live out here and they're gardening on the sides of these mountains. It's absolutely incredible. It's amazing that they can even get around in their 40s without their knees just being blown out. There's a waterfall way up there. One of these days, when I start flying helicopter, I'm gonna have to take you guys
500.
and explore some of this kind of stuff. But I mean, when you're flying an airplane, you're just cruising along at, what are we going, 145 knots ground speed?
500.
But yeah, it can slow down a little bit, but it does give you a different appreciation for nature when you're going this.
Moresby Alpha Tango Charlie is confirmed that was fast.
Low to it though, that's for sure. If you guys want to see a landing into I-by, I've got one on like my playlist that says something like, I don't know, most difficult, more challenging airstrips.
500.
Thank you, Betty. I have one going into I-by. I think it's called something about the most stressful landing or whatever of 2020. It actually was pretty stressful. Every landing into there can definitely get your blood pressure up, but it's still a lot of fun.
500.
Wow, look at that drop off. That is wild. Coming up under this here as well, there's a few waterfalls that I know of down here. In front of us where that big black burn patch is, off to the left, I know there's a big waterfall there. During rainy season, it is just a torrential amount of water that's coming through this one. Now there's a couple down in this area. The river down below us is just absolutely gorgeous. Let me pull over here to the right side of the valley just so I can position the wing camera and stuff so you guys can see underneath of it the plane a little bit better. Oh no, the waterfall's up there more. I'm further on up the valley than I thought I was. Oh, the river is so low right now. It's absolutely incredible. During the rainy season, the water raises up sometimes like 10 feet, 12 feet overnight, just with all the rivers that are coming off the mountain from all the rain. Anyways, this right here is probably one of my favorite areas, just because it has really sharp, you know, jagged mountains over here. You got kind of grassy plains with tons of just rocks. People are living right down there. What a unique way of life. Definitely a hard way of life, that's for sure. One of these days I'm going to have to do this on a day that's not smoky and not directly into the sun at 9 in the morning.
500.
All right, so this right here off to the left is that waterfall I was talking about earlier. And it really doesn't look like there's even that much water pouring out of it today. There's a little bit. Sure is pretty though.
500.
But once we get around this next corner up here, we'll be going into the Goroka Valley, then we'll switch over to Tower. Another 3 minutes. These mountains off here, off to my right, those are just super pretty with how sharp they. We don't really have a lot of like sharp, mountainous, like jagged stuff here in New Guinea. At least not around here.
500.
It's a nice calm day for wind. I don't do this if it's like whipping wind, but I've got 1 knot of wind, so makes it a little bit more enjoyable. You can see all the smoke out there.
500.
Last year I was going to take you on this exact same route right here, but there was so much smoke that it was just full on IMC. Like I didn't even want to stick my nose into it because you just couldn't. The valley had filled up so thick in smoke. It's unreal how it can get here some days. So there's a couple waterfalls in here as well, but I'm not really seeing them today. We got my engine on the bypass just because I'm at the bird level right here. I don't need to be sucking up any birds this morning. Right there, down below me. Oh, that's a beautiful one. That's for sure. All right, well, there was my fun. Let's head on back up to maybe 5,000 because we're actually lower than the airstrip in Goroka. The airstrip in Goroka is 5,100 feet for touchdown. So let's hop on up to that. Over to Goroka Tower. Nice view right into the Goroka Valley. Goroka Tower, November Tango Zulu.
November Tango Zulu, Goroka Tower.
November Tango Zulu, 900 miles, Saros South. Your circuit 08.
November Tango Zulu, copied all 35 left. Correction at 35 right, wind light and variable, QNH 1019, report final.
1019, report final, 35 right, November Tango Zulu. That's Raiden in the tower this morning. If you guys want to see like a video meeting the guys in the tower, I've got a couple different ones on my Patreon page where go hang out with them and just introduce you guys to them. As well as like I have like a bunch of on-the-ground content. I did a video just walking around I-by before, throw it by drone, and I like to do that for most of the places I can get to, just to give you guys a better picture of what it is like here. And also, I'll leave this exact same flight for you on my Patreon page as well if you're a flight simmer, and you can fly that same valley flight up here to Goroka. All right, I can't even tell. There's the field. I'm like flying all over the place. I can't even see the field because of the smoke. There we go. That's where having my OBS set up, it puts a line. I can quickly look, oh, hey, right there. And then you see it. Our fuel selectors, our TAWs, our VREF. We'll just come in at 70 knots today. Don't really need to come in slow. Our lights, inlet done, prop
500.
We're up 20 degrees of flaps, pitch for 73, maneuvers required. Reset IGT 740. Goroka Tower, November Tango Zulu, 5 mile final, 35 right.
Runway 35 right, clear to land.
Clear land, 35 right, November Tango Zulu. These things are super helpful. I really enjoy having these things. If you're a pilot, a flight simmer, I've got these as well on my site. Worldwide shipping available. But they're such a handy tool to keep you safe and not having to use paper checklists and lose your place or potentially miss critical items or human. It happens. 10 degrees of flaps. $20 degrees of flaps. And if you're wondering, why are you landing on the short runway? The small, skinny one. It's just because our hangar's on that side. And it's still like 3,000 3,000 feet long or something, so it's more than adequate. It just looks really small compared to the other one. Alright, we'll go ahead a little bit more before I do full flaps. Go ahead and start slowing down a little bit though. Come on in at 70 knots, there's full flaps, checklist is complete. And we'll plan just to, because we're coming in at 70, we'll float for a little while probably. But we'll land probably around the 500 foot marker or maybe just a little bit before it. Idle. Float, float, float. There we go. Hey guys, if you guys enjoyed that, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, share it on Facebook, wherever you want. It doesn't matter to me. I do appreciate it because it helps my channel get to new viewers who haven't seen my content. So, as always, consider subscribing if you aren't already. It's free. All you gotta do is hit that little red thing and hit the notification bell. Put out videos on Sundays and Thursdays, so if you're not seeing the content, you just have to come find my channel, and I don't know why YouTube doesn't recommend it all the time, but anyways, welcome to Goroka. It's good, guys. See you next time.